Fortnite Battle Royale is a relatively new Battle Royale game that is exploding on Twitch and YouTube. Fortnite is taking the gaming world by storm with its unique combination of a bright color palette, engaging gameplay, frequent updates, and, most of all, its building mechanic. This video is going to be a short introduction into the game focused on how to quickly become competitive as a new player and make you more confident with your gunplay, building, and decision making in general. This video will cover 4 core mechanics: resources, building, bloom, and rarity, and 4 gameplay suggestions: building, inventory management, teamwork, and gunfights. First, basic Fortnite game mechanics. In Fortnite, you need resources to be able to build. There are 3 resources you can use to build: wood, stone, and metal. These materials vary in strength against enemy weapons. You can mine these resources by using your pickaxe on almost any in-game structure. Aim for the blue circle to mine more quickly. You can also pick up materials from enemies that you have killed. You can use resources that you've collected to build structures. You can build structures using several shapes: walls, floors, stairs, and roofs. These shapes can be rotated and even edited once they've been built. Any structure must be attached to existing game terrain in some way. You can build as much as you want, but you must maintain at least 1 contact point to the ground. If your structure loses all contact points, the entire structure will be destroyed. Bloom is the term that is used to describe bullet spread in Fortnite. All hit-scan weapons have a bloom that is determined by the random number generator. This means that your shots will rarely go directly in the middle of your crosshairs. This mechanic means that even if you have perfect aim, you will still miss some shots. We'll talk more about how bloom affects the game later. There is a tiered rarity system in Fortnite that is designated by color. The rarity is as follows: gray, green, blue, purple, and orange. The items generally get better as they go up in rarity. For example, a blue assault rifle will have slightly better accuracy and damage when compared with a gray or a green. This rarity scale also applies to items. The bush item is very rare, while the smoke grenade item is fairly common. An item's rarity is a rough guide as to how good it is, but some players may have better results with a gray pump shotgun than a blue pistol. Being able to quickly build with confidence is often the difference between life and death in Fortnite. To consistently win gunfights, you must learn to create a positional advantage and quickly protect yourself from unknown attackers. It can be very difficult to pinpoint the location of enemies in Fortnite, but placing walls allows you to quickly identify the general position of your attackers and determine your next move. Practice quickly building a small 4-wall tower with a ramp. This simple structure can protect you from all directions and allows you to peek over the edges to take shots from cover. Having cover not only protects you, but gives you more time to identify enemies, heal if needed, change weapons, and plan your next move. Don't be afraid to experiment with building. Try out different structures, see what works for you. Remember, your goal when building is to protect yourself and create a positional advantage against your enemies. Building takes practice, and you'll definitely die while learning the mechanics and perfecting your building skills. Just treat each death as a learning opportunity, and you'll see just how beneficial building can be in Fortnite, whether it's in the form of a simple ramp or a massive tower. You are able to hold 5 inventory items in Fortnite. Some items, such as bandages, can be stacked so that you can hold multiple of the same item in one slot. You can also hold nearly unlimited ammo, resources, and traps with your 5 slots. One of the first things you should do in Fortnite is try out as many weapons as you can to find out which items you feel most confident with. Once you've determined your playstyle, make sure to keep the same items in the same inventory slots game to game. This will help you quickly change guns during fights instead of having to constantly look at your slots. For example, I almost always carry an assault rifle in my first slot and a shotgun in my second. That way, if I have my AR out and I see someone at short range, I can quickly switch to my shotgun without having to fumble around and look at the inventory. Also, don't forget about your traps. Always pick up traps, as you can hold as many as you want in your inventory. If you're in a pinch and need to hide or regain health, you can set these traps from the build menu. Just be careful, as some of the traps are noisy and can signal to enemies that someone is near. Unless you're playing solos, teamwork is an essential part of Fortnite Battle Royale. When being shot, check the compass at the top of your screen and call out the attacker's position to your teammates. This can quickly turn the tide of the fight. Also, make sure that your team inventory management is efficient. You should try to maximize the variety of weapons and meds held between your team so that you're ready for any kind of encounter. For example, you don't want one person on your team holding 3 shotguns, while another person only has 2 assault rifles as weapons. Fortnite's gunplay is different and takes a little getting used to. I already mentioned bloom, which makes aim a little less important and makes strategy and positioning much more important. In this game, the gunfight is usually won by thinking, not necessarily by shooting. First, always choose the right gun for the situation. If you hear footsteps or doors opening nearby, switch to your shotgun. In close quarters, having to switch weapons in a panic will almost always get you killed. Second, either find a positional advantage by using a hill or building, or create one. You should almost never be shooting from an open area without cover. Having cover allows you to hide and peek out and prevents your enemy from knowing where you will next appear. The player with a positional advantage, even one with poor aim, will almost always defeat enemies who choose to stay out in the open, and don't build when getting shot. Another important aspect to gunfights is positioning and sound. Listen for footsteps and use audio cues like reloading or weapon swapping to locate enemies around you. Also, be tactical with your own audio cues and be careful not to give yourself away. Reload when it's safe and try to swap guns before you get in close quarters if you're being sneaky. Also, crouching makes your footsteps silent, so keep that in mind. When you're in gunfights, especially when you lose, ask yourself, how many clear shots did I get at my opponent and how many clear shots did they get at me? Then ask yourself, what could I have done to increase the number of clear shots that I had or decrease the number that my enemy had? Sometimes the answer is I should have built quicker, or I should have destroyed their cover, or even I should have built a ramp up the nearby house and used that roof as cover. Only rarely is the answer as simple as, well, I just missed my shots. Use these moments to learn, and you'll soon react more quickly and confidently when you recognize similar situations. Overall, I've been loving my time with this game. From epic kills to hilarious deaths, this game keeps you on your toes and only gets better as you become more skilled with your own gameplay. Oh, and the best part? It's a free game. I recommend that you pick it up and give it a try. Once you get that first victory royale, you'll probably be just as hooked as I am. Thanks for watching.